Forever overhead.
Happy birthday. Your 13th is important. Maybe your first really public day. Your 13th is the chance for people to recognize that important things are happening to you. Things have been happening to you for the past half year. You have 7 hairs in your left armpit now, 12 in your right. Hard, dangerous spirals of brittle black hair. Crunchy, animal hair. There are now more of the hard, curled hairs around your privates than you can count without losing track. Other things. Your voice is rich and scratchy and moves between octaves without any warning. Your face has begun to get shiny when you don't wash it. And 2 weeks of a deep and frightening ache this past spring left you with something dropped down from inside. Your sack is now full and vulnerable, a commodity to be protected. Hefted and strapped in tight supporters that stripe your buttocks red. You have grown into a new fragility. And dreams. For months there have been dreams like nothing before, moist and busy and distant, full of yielding curves, frantic pistons, warmth and a great falling. And you have awakened through fluttering lids to a rush and a gush and a toe-curling, scalp-snapping jolt of feeling from an inside deeper than you knew you had. Spasms of a deep, sweet hurt. The streetlights through your window blinds cracking into sharp stars against the bedroom ceiling, and on you a dense white jam that lisps between trembling legs, trickles and sticks, cools on you, hardens and clears until there is nothing but gnarled knots of pale, solid animal hair in the morning shower, and in the wet tangle a clean, sweet smell you can't believe comes from anything you made inside you. The smell is, more than anything, like this swimming pool, a bleached sweet salt, a flower with chemical petals. The pool has a strong, clear blue smell, though you know the smell is never as strong when you are actually in the blue water, as you are now, all swum out, resting back along the shallow end, the hip-high water lapping at where it's all changed. Around the deck of this old public pool on the western edge of Tucson is a cyclone fence the color of pewter, decorated with a bright tangle of locked bicycles. Beyond this, a hot black parking lot full of white lines and glittering cars. A dull field of dry grass and hard weeds, old dandelions' downy heads exploding and snowing up in a rising wind. And past all this, reddened by a round, slow September sun, are mountains, jagged, their tops sharp angles darkening into definition against a deep red tired light. Against the retreating red, their sharp connected tops form a spiked line, an EKG of the dying day. The clouds are taking on color by the rim of the sky. The water is spangles off soft blue, 5 o'clock warm, and the pool's smell, like the other smell, connects with a chemical haze inside you. An interior dimness that bends light to its own ends, softens the difference between what leaves off and what begins. Your party is tonight. This afternoon, on your birthday, you have asked to come to the pool. You wanted to come alone, but a birthday is a family day. Your family wants to be with you. This is nice, and you can't talk about why you wanted to come alone, and really, truly, maybe you didn't want to come alone. So they are here. Sunning. Both your parents sun. Their deck chairs have been marking time all afternoon, rotating, tracking the sun's curve across a desert sky heated to an eggy film. Your sister plays Marco Polo near you in the shallows with a group of loud, thin girls from her grade. She is being blind now, her Marco's being poloed. She is shut-eyed and twirling to different cries, spinning at the hub of a wheel of shrill girls in bathing caps. Her cap has raised rubber flowers. There are limp old pink petals that shake as she lunges at blind sound. There, at the other end of the pool, is the diving tank and the highboards tower. Back on the deck behind is the snack bar, and on either side, bolted above the cement entrances to dark, wet showers and lockers, are gray metal bullhorn speakers that send out the pool's radio music, the jangle flat and tinny thin. Your family likes you. You are bright and quiet, respectful to elders, though you are not without spine. You are largely good. You look out for your little sister. You are her ally. You were 6 when she was 0, and you had the mumps when they brought her home in a very soft yellow blanket. You kissed her hello on her feet out of concern that she not catch your mumps. Your parents say that this augured well, that it set the tone. They now feel they were right. In all things they are proud of you, satisfied, and they have retreated to the warm distance from which pride and satisfaction travel. You all get along well. The board is long. From where you stand, it seems to stretch off into nothing. It's going to send you someplace which its own length keeps you from seeing, which seems wrong to submit to without even thinking. Looked at another way, the very same board is just a long, thin, flat thing covered with a rough white plastic stuff. The white surface is very rough and is freckled and lined with a pale watered red that is nevertheless still red and not yet pink. Drops of old pool water that are catching the light of the late sun over sharp mountains. The rough white stuff of the board is wet and cold. Your feet are hurt from the thin rungs and have a great ability to feel. They feel your weight. There are handrails running above the beginning of the board. They are not like the ladder's handrails just were. They are thick and set very low, so you almost have to bend over to hold on to them. They are just for show. No one holds them. Holding on takes time and alters the rhythm of the machine. It is a long, cold, rough white plastic or fiberglass board, veined with the sad near-pink color of bad candy. But at the edge of the whiteboard, the edge, where you'll come down with your weight to make it send you off, there are 2 areas of darkness, 2 flat shadows in the broad light, 2 vague black ovals. The end of the board has 2 dirty spots. They are from all the people who've gone before you. Your feet as you stand here are tender and dented, hurt by the rough, wet surface, and you see that the 2 dark spots are from people's skin. They are skin, abraded from feet by the violence of the disappearance of people with real weight. More people than you could count without losing track. The weight and abrasion of their disappearance leaves little bits of soft, tender feet behind, bits and shards and curls of skin that dirty and darken and tan as they lie tiny and smeared in the sun at the end of the board. They pile up and get smeared and mixed together. They darken in 2 circles. No time is passing outside you at all. It is amazing. The late ballet below is slow motion, the overbroad movements of mimes in blue jelly. If you wanted, you could really stay here forever, vibrating inside so fast you float motionless in time, like a bee over something sweet. But they should clean the board. Anybody who thought about it for even a second would know that they should clean the end of the board of people's skin, of 2 black collections of what's left of before, spots that from back here look like eyes, like blind, cross-eyed eyes. Where you are now is still and quiet. Wind, radio, shouting, splashing, not here. No time and no real sound but your blood squeaking in your head. Overhead here means sight and smell. The smells are intimate, newly clear. The smell of Bleach's special flower, but out of it other things rise to you like a weed-seeded snow. You smell deep yellow popcorn, sweet tan oil like hot coconut, either hot dogs or corn dogs, a thin, cruel hint of very dark Pepsi in paper cups, and the special smell of tons of water coming off tons of skin, rising like steam off a new bath. Animal heat. From overhead it is more real than anything. Look at it. You can see the whole complicated thing, blue and white and brown and white, soaked in a watery spangle of deepening red. Everybody. This is what people call a view. And you knew that from below you wouldn't look nearly so high overhead. You know now how high overhead you are. You knew from down there no one could tell. He says it behind you, his eyes on your ankles, the solid bald man. Hey kid, they want to know. Do your plans up here involve the whole day, or what exactly is the story? Hey kid, are you okay? There's been time this whole time. You can't kill time with your heart. Everything takes time. Bees have to move very fast to stay still. Hey kid, he says, hey kid, are you okay? Metal flowers bloom on your tongue. No more time for thinking. Now that there is time, you don't have time. Hey, happy birthday. It is a big day, big as the roof of the whole southwest sky. You have thought it over. There is the high board. They will want to leave soon. Climb out and do the thing.